Thank you.
And here is Corbett.
Alrighty guys, thank you so much for having us here. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you, Debbie, for getting me a chance to come up here. I can't find a pickup on my guitar anywhere. In fact, I can't even find the guitar. Debbie was a little confused when I came in and she told me I could put my guitar over there. I said I didn't need to. She seemed a little confused and I told her I couldn't sing either and she looked at me like, whatever dude, your funeral. And I can't sing, but don't worry guys, I'm not going to try to. My name's Corbett, I'm from Los Angeles. I'm a comedian and had no idea what kind of open mic I was walking into. And you know what, I kind of thought you all might boo me and be like, get the fuck out of here, Cali boy. And I realized you guys have such a heart for art and music. I'm just going to fucking do it anyway. So I'm going to do some sit-down comedy for you guys. I hope no one minds.
Sit down.
So basically the way it works when you're a comedian, you gotta run your lines by somebody. I'm sure it's similar for you songwriters. You're gonna play a song eventually, you're gonna be like, hey bro, your brother or sister, your friend, like I got this new song, you're gonna play it for them. And if it's bad, they're gonna be like, bro, you're gonna make someone's eardrums bleed. And you go home and probably work on it. Well, same thing with comedy writing. If you're sitting at home telling jokes to yourself in your room by yourself and you're laughing and you're the only one laughing, you're just batshit crazy. So eventually you gotta tell the jokes to somebody else to see if you wanna keep telling them. So here I am tonight, guys. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yeah!
So my name is Corbett. I am from Los Angeles. I made sure to write out Los Angeles. I put LA at first and I was like, oh, they're gonna relate with me in the wrong way. I am from LA, the other LA. So stand-up comedy's gotten hugely popular in LA. It's blowing up. You guys have seen like the Netflix specials and all this stuff going on. So it's actually gotten really hard to get stage time, and I find that's going further and further east. And then I realized that now I'm here, pretty far from LA. So I think I've beat all my friends on how far away they have to go for an open mic. So yeah, winning on that one. I'm not sure if it's what I want to win. It could be like a high or a low in my career. I'm not sure which one. I do know the high and low back home is 70 and 60. So there we go. So you know, I honestly didn't think I'd have to just, all I had to do is go all the way down to America's heartland to meet people who actually still like other people.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Thank you for recording, by the way, Kate. I have a whole new group of friends over here. They're like, wow, you're gonna do an open mic at a country show with no singing ability or guitar. They laugh like crazy. I just thought they thought I was a good comedian. Alright guys, so as I was writing this, I called a couple friends for advice and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go up and do some new comedy in Nashville. And they're like, you're gonna what? And I said, I'm gonna do some comedy in Nashville, Tennessee. And they said, alright, you know, and I'm asking them a little advice and I realized, Nashville, Tennessee, you kind of almost can't say it with a Los Angeles accent, like, Nashville, Tennessee. It doesn't sound right. You guys say it, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
That is so much sexier sounding than the way we say things. You guys take your time, and I respect you a lot for that. In Los Angeles, we don't take our time, but we're happy to take other people's time. So I'm gonna take a little of yours right now. Alright, so this is all brand new stuff, guys. So honestly, none of this has ever been told to anyone before. So I really appreciate you letting me say it. It could be going really good, you know, new material, or it could go really bad, not funny jokes. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's new stuff. It never goes good. Well, that's the thing we gotta get through. Alright, so I actually called my friend, like I told you, and I was like, what do I talk about in Nashville, Tennessee? Like, what's appropriate, what's not? Is there an area I should go with this? Because whenever you're going to do a new venue, you always put down a few jokes that aren't just your jokes, but are more specific to, like, the people you're going to talk to. So my buddy tells me, oh, bro, you should make jokes about, you know, just, like, go on the edge a little bit. So, like, talk about politics, make fun of Donald Trump. And you know what would be else would be really great, dude? Dude, make fun of racism. And I'm like, dude, those are great things that we tell jokes all the time in LA about. An hour later, I'm on the phone with my dad, and I'm telling him what my plan is, and he tells me, son, you know, I'm really proud of you for pursuing this comedy career, and I think it's amazing, but I'm a little concerned. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're really good at telling jokes, but you don't understand when someone is telling you a joke. So the last three cards here are jokes about racists and Donald Trump, and I'm really hoping I don't have to pull those ones out. So I actually started, and between this hour I talked to my friend and talked to my father, I was actually sitting there for like an hour plus writing jokes, thinking my friend was just giving me good comedic advice, and I'm writing jokes all about racism, politics, and Donald Trump. And I realized what mainly about politics is I know nothing about politics. So I was like, where do I go with this? And I literally wrote on the piece of paper, it says right here, I know nothing about politics, but the truth is I start political conversations all the time, which is really fucked up. You shouldn't start political conversations if you don't know anything about politics. But I've kind of developed like this new way of teaching myself about politics. So I live on a sailboat yes, I live on a sailboat on the West Coast, probably a little removed from most other people. I don't have a television, I've not had cable for over 10 years, and I don't pay attention to the news. So I get all my politics literally by learning which of my friends and family are from different parties, and I wait until they're there in the same room, and I just ask them, you can ask any question, and literally just sit back and watch. And it's like the most amazing educational entertainment section about what sides of parties they call them, lame party if you ask me, but what side the parties agree on. And this is how I know everything I know about politics. This is also how I know that our president is who he is, and I'm still trying to figure all that out. I think I've got it mostly figured out. As far as I understand, the guy from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is now our king. Got it right? Yeah. That's it? Alright, I'm working on that one. Alright, so there are a couple advantages, guys, to being completely news retarded. Literally, you can't get in trouble for not joining any conversation. So, it's actually the only way I've found in life. I can start an uproaring, raging, horrible, hateful, nasty argument, and the guy who purposely instigated the whole thing is not blamed for any of it. Yeah. Politics are fun that way. So I actually grew up as a teenage actor and acting in Hollywood, and realized, it has become a really big advantage in my daily life, especially now as an adult. It's actually really cool. Anytime I'm speaking to someone and I really just don't want to hear about what they have to say anymore, I may never make another dollar acting for the rest of my life, and I've gotten out of every conversation I didn't want to be in. Alright guys, my name's Corbett. I won't take any more time. That was about the time of one song, so thank you again.
And our last